Hi, my name is Dr. Jim Brosnan. I'm one of the turf professors here at the University of Tennessee. It's that time of year again where we showcase our POA trial work. We're here at a TifEagle nursery green outside Chattanooga to look at some treatments for herbicide-resistant POA control on ultra-dwarf surfaces. This is a problematic issue for many golf courses, not only in Tennessee, but across the region. All the trials here were applied in the fall. Everything is replicated 4 times. What we're going to do is hone in on some singular plots to identify treatments that have performed well at this site, where some of our standard herbicides, things like Revolver and Curb, are not offering the performance that they once did. So let's get started. So here we'll start non-treated check plot. This is again a TifEagle surface, natural POA population. We know that it's resistant to our ALS inhibitors, and Curb is a herbicide. We haven't confirmed resistance here, but it does not perform as one would hope. Mowing height on this green is 125 thousandths of an inch, so we're mowed pretty tight, and you can kind of see that as we've introduced mowing after having been covered for an extended period this winter with some colder temperatures. We'll hone in, we'll look at some of our POA pressure that's in here. The POA is going to be a different texture than our TifEagle, lime green in color. Not tremendous pressure, but enough for us to make meaningful ratings of herbicide performance, which is all we want to see to evaluate what products perform well and what products maybe don't perform as well. The herbicide that this test focuses on is called PoaCure. The active ingredient is methiozolin. It's a group 30 herbicide. Why that is significant is it's the only group 30 herbicide that's labeled for use in turf. As the trade name implies, it's an important tool for POA management, and to date it's really been used, not exclusively, but most of the use is in creeping bentgrass putting greens. One of the things in our program here at Tennessee is we're still figuring out how to use it for ultra-dwarf management, and this year and last year I think we've stumbled on a way that we have a really good program, and that's what this trial really highlights. What I'm standing in, this is a 5-app PoaCure program. So you heard that right. You're making 5 applications of this herbicide. Each time it's at 0.2 gallons per acre, and we're making those applications on 3-week intervals. The first application was September 8th. You can see on the screen the subsequent dates. We had applications on September 29th, October 20th, November 17th, and December 1st. The important thing about that sequence is that we're using PoaCure as a pre-emergence herbicide. Our soil temperatures here didn't cross below the 66 Fahrenheit threshold that we know correlates with POA emergence until October 14th. So starting that series in September, we're really leveraging PoaCure as a pre-emergence tool, making those 5 applications here forward, and you can see in this TifEagle plot, really clean turf. It's done a very nice job controlling this population. The next treatment we're going to look at is an alternative to the first PoaCure treatment that was shown in this video. Here, what we're doing is we're trying to protect PoaCure because we know that continuing to spray the same herbicide repeatedly with no other programmatic diversity is just going to select for resistant biotypes over time. So in the plot in front of me, what we're doing is instead of making 5 applications of PoaCure, we're making 3 applications at the 0.2 gallon per acre rate. And in between those, we're applying an application of Curb SC at 15 ounces per acre. What that's doing is it's breaking that selection pressure for any sort of PoaCure resistance that may be within the population by introducing a new mode of action in Curb. The application dates, as you can see on the screen, are there, so it's 5 apps in total, the same sequence that we had with PoaCure alone, just with a little mode of action diversity, and our results here are quite strong. The final treatment in this test is another let's call it resistance management plan on PoaCure, that instead of making 5 consecutive PoaCure apps, what we're doing is we're introducing another herbicide from a different mode of action group. In this plot, this is a program that looks at PoaCure mixed with StriCore. StriCore is a group 15 herbicide, relatively new to the turf market. Active ingredient is pithoxamide, very short-lived residual. Here what we're doing is we're interjecting StriCore apps each time at 20 24 ounces per acre in our PoaCure sequence, where we have 3 applications of PoaCure at 0.2 gallons, and in between those 2 StriCore applications, again, to break that selection pressure for any sort of resistance, introducing mode of action diversity, and the performance, as you can see here, is very good. We've got really clean turf. So that concludes this very short trial focusing on PoaCure as a tool for POA management in Ultradwarf Bermudagrass. You know, as I said in the opening, this is a program, this PoaCure sequence, really leveraging the pre-emergence activity of the herbicide and introducing mode of action diversity in between subsequent applications. It's performed, this is the 2nd year in a row where we've put this at a trial site on a golf course under golf course management conditions, where we know that the POA population is resistant to group 2 herbicides, particularly Revolver, and Curb doesn't perform very well. And for 2 years in a row, it's done really well in our trial. So it's one of the programs that, as University of Tennessee Extension, we're going to recommend moving forward for POA management on Ultradwarf putting greens. Thank you for listening.